Hello everyone, welcome to a new series that will deal with a software application for 3D modeling called Blender. When you first open the application, you'll get this layout right here. This part, typically if you've been on Blender a long time, it has new general 2D sculpting, VFX, video editing, open, and everything else. If you've been on Blender for a while, you have files that you've last used over here, so you can go back and access those. Today I'm going to use the basic one that it gives you, so click out of that, and when you see it, you see this cube, and to highlight it, if you click off of it by accident, you can re-highlight it by using the left click and highlight over it. When you do that though, and if you go too large, it will highlight everything within that square, so it'll also highlight these two, which I will cover what they are in a minute. So up here in this top right hand corner is everything that you currently have in your field. This entire area is your field. To scroll in and out of your field, use your scroll wheel on your mouse. If you are on a laptop and you don't have a mouse and you use a touchpad, Blender does not support touchpad features, sadly. So you really need a mouse with a scroll wheel and a left and right button. To move around, you click and hold your scroll wheel, so you can turn to different angles and views. And then, so now these two other objects that are put in are your camera, which you can go to, and also your light, which you can shine and edit it and move it around, and you can shine different things on it to see how it will affect shadowing. And over here on your left, you have the cursor box, which you can move by clicking with your left mouse. You can move it anywhere. Now when you do move it, it does move to that specific location so far away from your camera. I think it moves like so many pixels away from your camera, but it moves to that specific angle away from your camera. So that way when you move around, it's now up there instead of the center. To fix that, go up here into this circle right here. You can go to X, you can click back center, and then Y, and click back center. And then it will be back in the center. Let me fix that. And it will be back in the center. Almost. You can get it to be exactly center by zooming in more and more and more and getting it, but typically you're able to move around with ease. So then over here, the next down one is move, which then takes your highlighted object and gives you the ability to move it across the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. And in moving, let's say you accidentally click on it and you move and you're like, oh crap, I wanted to take it back to exactly where I was. If you're still holding it with the left mouse button, you can click with your right mouse button and it'll put it right back to where it was. Another way to do that, if you move it and then you click it and you're like, oh no, how do I put it back exactly where I needed it? You can always press the keyboard function Control Z and it'll send it back. And you can do that same thing with anything else, with the box as well. And then next down is rotate. It has a green, which is rotating along the y-axis, and then the red, which is rotating around the x-axis, and then the blue, which is rotating around the z-axis. And it has this white one right here that has free roam rotation. You can rotate it however you need to your specific camera view rather than to the specific axis. And then next, under rotate, you have scale. So you can either scale it to your camera point of view, which will scale the entire thing all at the same time rather than going and doing each of those. Another way to scale and rotate and to move are over here. You can move it a specific number of meters or turn a certain number of degrees and scale it so many times its original size. And then if this is the metric system, and I'll show how to change it to the imperial in the next video. And then next you have transform, which is if you want to be able to have access to all of them real fast. Don't know why you'd want to have access to all of them instantly, but you have rotate, you have scale, and you have move, all in one. So yeah, that's it for this video. I will cover the rest of the basics in the next video.